Strike one.
Content.
Up.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fitzgerald Stadium for Post 22 Extra. This is our first program featuring Post 22 head coach Mitch Messer. And Mitch, the stadium's kind of quiet right now. We see a lot of improvements going on, but pretty soon this will be a very active place.
Yeah, and we can't wait. This weather's really been a teaser for us, and so you know, the kids are outside. They're working hard, and we're excited.
Today we kind of want to introduce Mitch Messer to Rapid City. Of course, Mitch is not unknown to the community, having gone to high school here and played with Post 22 in the mid-90s, and now the head coach taking over for Dave Plouffe. And give us a little bit, Mitch, about your background.
Well, I'm a hometown kid, played in the program. I wore the hard hat too. Blessed with the opportunity to play on a few World Series teams. My wife and I moved back from Bozeman, Montana 4 years ago, or actually 2 years ago, and it was an opportunity to move home and coach for the program that I grew up in. So so far the move's been great. Family's adjusted well. It's good to be back and see family and raise a family in Rapid City.
You know, when you played for Post 22, you mentioned the World Series. Talk about some of your memories for playing with Post 22.
Yeah, you know, there were some great memories that I take away from my experiences here, and obviously the 2 World Series, those stand out. Those were special times, and it was special times for the program too. But the more that we're here, we're down here at the field, we're practicing. I spent 5 years practicing here at this field too, so I have a lot of memories of that. But you can't replace what you experienced here at Fitzgerald Stadium, especially as a player and alumni of Post 22. One of the common things that I hear from most alumnus is, gosh, what would it take to get one more at bat? One more at bat in that batter's box at Fitzgerald. And so that kind of gives you an idea of the memories and the experiences that most of us had.
Talk about playing under Dave Plouffe. Of course, Dave retired after 47 years. And what did you take away from him as he molded you as a ball player?
You know, one of the things that I take away from Coach Plouffe as a player and as a coach is you got to show up every day ready to play, ready to go to work. You got to put all the things that are outside of those gates, you have to put those things behind you and find a way to get your job done for the day. So fundamentals has always been a staple of Post 22 baseball, and of course the fundamentals were a big part of it, but showing up every day and learning how to do that was important, not just in my coaching and playing career, but also in my career off the field as well.
Now, as I recall it, when you left Rapid City, you went to Augustana, played baseball there, and you majored in business, was it? In finance?
Sports management.
Sports management.
Yeah.
And then you're in the business right now of financial planning and things like that. So when did it enter into your mind, you know, I'd kind of like to be a coach? Or did you kind of fall into it, or is it something you planned?
I definitely fell into it. Out of college, my first job was with the Principal Financial Group, and for the summer I had to study for all my exams, and I needed something to do. And the president of the Legion board at Sioux Falls was looking for a JV coach for the Sioux Falls East team, and asked if I'd be interested, and so I took it. And the rest is history, really. When we moved to Montana for my wife to go to law school, my wife got a job clerking for a federal judge out of Great Falls, and she was going to be gone 4 days a week, and it was something that she had, you know, the opportunity was too great, she had to take it. And so I needed to find something else to do because I was going to be quite bored for 4 days, and I looked in the paper, and the first advertisement that I saw, it said baseball coach. I said, oh gosh, I've done this before, I think I'll try it again. And you know, it's just, I've been blessed to coach great players and be in great organizations, and you know, it's just kind of led to this point.
Now, you took Bozeman to a state championship in Montana, and how did that set the table, or what did you learn as you take over a program as storied as Post 22? How did that help you?
Boy, there were so many experiences from the Bozeman job that really, that was my first time being a head coach for I would say a major Legion program, and you know, one of the things was you're going to have something new thrown at you every day, and how you respond to that. You don't necessarily always have to have the right answer, but it's where you take it from there is probably the most important thing. So a lot of different things. You learn a lot about your coaching philosophy, whether it's right or wrong, and you learn a lot about yourself. And a lot of it is stand up for what you believe, whether that's right or wrong. You gotta stick to your guns and go with it. And the other thing is invest in your kids. This is really what it's about. It's about the young men that are putting the uniform on, and when you invest in them and try to build a good, solid relationship with the kids, then you have something special.
As you take over Post 22, and you know the success is, you can't really talk anymore about the success that hasn't been talked about before, but as you take over the program, Mitch, what's going to remain the same, and maybe what's going to change a little?
Yeah, some of the same things. It's going to continue to be Post 22 baseball. In other words, we're going to still focus on playing the game the right way. You're going to see some hustle back on the field from the kids sprinting in and off the field. The hard hats, of course, are still going to be here. That's who we are. And good, solid, and fundamental baseball. That won't change. Maybe you'll see a little more aggressiveness on defense and on offense on the bases. The stadium, of course, will have a little bit of a different look. The players, our uniforms, everything will just be a little bit different. But in terms of how the game's played, that's going to be Post 22 baseball.
What could you share with us the first time you met with the team, all the players that came out this spring, sat down with them for the first time, and as the head coach of Post 22, what did you tell them?
Well, we talked a lot about we didn't look back, and we can't look back. We need to be mindful of where we've come from, but that can't be our focus. You know, our focus needs to be on this season and this day. So we need to take it one day at a time. It's really easy to stand at the bottom of the mountain and look at the top and think, boy, that's a long ways up there. And so we're focused on 200 feet at a time, and we'll see where that takes us.
We're talking with Mitch Messer, the head coach of Rapid City Post 22, and we'll return with more here on Post 22 Extra in just a moment. Welcome back to Post 22 Extra, and Mitch Messer is our guest, the head coach of Post 22. And Mitch, we're filming this right in front of the pitching mound here at Fitzgerald Stadium, and as we look around the stadium, we're going to see several improvements this year. Why don't you talk about those?
Yeah, you know, the first, the most obvious and visible when the folks show up to the stadium this summer will be the new backstop and new dugout system. That was part of the Baseball Tomorrow Fund. We applied for the grant and were awarded the grant last year. And so what we've done is we took down the old chain link backstop and replaced it with a new net system, so our fans will be able to have a little bit better viewing experience. I'll say this, everything seems to be a lot closer, so that hopefully our fans really enjoy that. I know that's some of the feedback we've gotten from the players, is that it seems like the fans are right on top of us, which is great. That'll be fun. We've also increased the space in our dugouts and added a new drainage system. So just making it more comfortable for the players, for the teams that are coming in, and for their fans as well. We also have a new scoreboard coming up. Part of that is completed today, but the finished product is really going to be kind of neat. I won't get into the details. You'll have to show up to see the new design on the scoreboard.
Let's talk about the schedule, because the schedule, of course, has always been very tough that Post 22 has put together, and having had a glance at it, I can tell you, the fans, that it's just as good as ever, including the firecracker. But walk us through how you prepared the schedule this year.
I wanted to prepare a schedule that challenged us day in, day out. I think we have 3 days off in June, and certainly a schedule like that isn't foreign to Post 22. But you know, we really added some tough tournaments. We added 2 new tournaments. We're going to Cheyenne, where Creighton Prep and of course Cheyenne and some other Denver teams will be there. And then we're also going to a tournament in Billings, Montana, which is a very competitive tournament. So in addition to the tournaments that we've had on the schedule, we've added 2 more that are really, really competitive. And you know, we've said it for a long time here. That's the key to our success, we believe, is we want to play the best. If you want to be the best, you got to play the best.
I noticed that in the Billings tournament, you're going to be playing the state champion from Alabama, which will be an interesting game.
Yeah, that'll be a fun night. It'll be at Pertz Field, which is a great facility, and it'll be good to see where we're at.
And we'll put a plug in here, of course, because we're going to have that game on the Hills 97.5 and others as we bring you Post 22 baseball again on the Hills 97.5. Let's talk a little bit about the team coming back, Mitch. You've got some experience coming back, but you also lost some good players.
Yeah, we really did, and you know, it's awful tough to replace a draft pick out of your rotation. But we have some good, solid kids that are returning from last year's varsity group. We have good young players coming up from the Expos, and maybe a couple from the Bullets. It's yet to be determined. So we're excited. We return a group that has competed at a high level. You got a lot of guys that have some regional experience from the previous years. So hopefully that combination with good young talent and some leadership will lead to some good things.
You know, it seems, and I always talk to Dave about this before the start of a new season, you know, people take it for granted. They just, you know, all the winning seasons, and every year is a different year, and you're never really sure as you start the season. So you feel a little pressure coming in. What kind of pressure is Mitch Messer feeling replacing Dave Plouffe?
The only pressure is pressure on myself, and the pressure is no different from any other season, really. I want to be as competitive as I can, and I want the teams to be as competitive as can. Again, the focus needs to be on the players. If you start focusing on all the other stuff, it'll drag you down, and that's not where you need to be thinking. So player development is on our mind every day, and when we do that, in my opinion, we're gonna be okay.
And talk about your assistant coaching staff.
Yeah, gosh, I'm really excited about our coaching staff. It's, in my opinion, that's second to none in the region. We'll have Kyle Yamada as varsity assistant coach. Kyle's been in the program for many years. He does a great job. He's been with the cadet team, which has been instrumental for our program in developing our young kids. We bring in Brandon Hunt, who coached the Sioux Falls East team last year to a state championship. We're bringing him back home, another hometown kid, and then we'll have Rich Downs and Pete Melendez and Chad Coley, Kip Coates, Lee Shepard, and Thane Lees. So when you look back, they're all Post 22 alumnus, and they all have a ton of experience. I think there's 96 years of coaching experience on staff, so we're excited about that.
You know, I've done games with every one of those coaches, except I don't go that, I'm not as old as Lee Shepard, so I don't go quite that far back. But it's great to see all those former players. You know, it's a great bargain, the season ticket that Post 22 offers for all the games, a family season ticket for $75. And how can a fan get one of those?
Yeah, go to our website, post22baseball.com. We have a link up to where you can contact either myself or somebody else within the organization, and we can get a player to call you within 2 days. So we're trying to make that a little more fan-friendly for our folks, or they can go ahead and give me a call. Again, all my information's on post22baseball.com, and we can get them a season ticket. One change this year with the season ticket is that the pass will include the firecracker tournament. So it's one pass, $75, and that'll get you into everything that happens here at Post 22.
And of course, you can always pick them up at the ticket window. If you come to that first game, haven't gotten a season ticket, you can always buy it right there. The first game for Post 22 is Saturday, May 5th up in Billings against the Scarlets on a Saturday, and the first home game is Saturday, May 12th. And if I remember right, that's Casper as the opponent here to open up the season. Mitch, it's great. We'll be doing our Post 22 extra shows throughout the season. Anything else you'd like to add here as we close out our first program? You did very well. Your makeup looks good. You know, your haircut was good.
I'll thank my wife for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she takes care of it. She helps me look good. So, yeah, you know, on April 28th, we're gonna do an inter-squad game here down at Fitzgerald Stadium for all of our season ticket holders. An opportunity for people to come down, get a look at what the stadium looks like, see the kids in the new uniforms, and get a look at the 2012 Hard Hat team. And then before our first game on May 12th, we're going to have an opening ceremony prior to the game where we'll have some different events going on out in the parking lot. So mostly to treat our fans well and get this season kicked off on the right start.
So don't forget, you can always get a lot of information about Post 22 Baseball on their website again, and that is
post22baseball.com.
And you can follow Post 22. We'll have another season of Post 22 Baseball on the Hills 97.5. So thanks for joining us. For Mitch Messer, this is Tom Rudebusch. You've been watching Post 22 Extra.